In this presentation, we will be covering the Crisis Communication and Reputation Management in Amazon by Carmel Ashland, Heidi Bell, Layla Kajik, Catherine Franklin, and Grace Wickman. The scenario that we have decided to choose is Scenario 2, Sexual Harassment. An individual has come forward with a verbal sexual harassment claim. In this claim, they state that one of their work colleagues has been making sexual remarks towards them. When asked to stop, the colleague continued to make the sexual remarks, in which this incident of verbal sexual harassment has caused the individual to have emotional discomfort, distress, and fear.
Hello, for this case, I selected the crisis response team made up of the individuals who hold the most relevant leadership positions at Amazon and who are best equipped to handle a sensitive and high-risk issue like a sexual harassment claim. First, I've chosen Beth Galletti, the Senior Vice President of People Experience and Technology, who serves as the crisis lead. She oversees Amazon's entire HR and workplace culture system, so she has the authority and experience to coordinate the investigation, ensure policies are followed, and guide the company's response. Because she's already managed global employees and corporate conduct, she's the person most capable of leading a cross-functional crisis team. For the HR representative, I chose Javier Sloans. Sloans is a senior people leader at Amazon with a focus on managing employees at scale, improving culture, and enforcing workplace standards. His experience dealing with regional workforce issues and his direct connection to Amazon's people management operations make him well positioned to support the investigation, represent employee interests, and apply HR policy objectively. Next is David Zapolsky, Amazon's chief legal officer, who fills the role of legal counsel. Zapolsky oversees all legal matters for the company, including compliance, regulations, litigation, and internal investigations. In any sexual harassment case, legal risk is high, and his guidance ensures the company follows the law, protects the rights of everyone involved, and avoids mishandling the situation. For communications, I've selected Drew Herdner, the Senior Vice President of Communications and Corporate Responsibility. When a claim becomes public or affects employee trust, Amazon must communicate clearly and responsibly. Herdner manages all external and internal messaging for the company, so he ensures that statements are accurate, consistent, and respectful of the sensitivity of the issue. Finally is Andy Jassy, the CEO of Amazon, who serves as the executive oversight. Although he wouldn't manage the investigation directly, he is responsible for setting the tone at the top, approving major decisions, and demonstrating that the company takes the claims seriously at the highest level. Together, I think that all of these individuals form a balanced crisis team with the authority, expertise, and resources needed to handle a sexual harassment claim effectively, transparently, and responsibly. I also think that it is very important that they've had so much time with the company. You see them all listed in Amazon's many claims to fame. They're important, valued employees, and there's no one better really to deal with this type of sensitive issue. Thank you.
I will be covering our designated spokesperson in this section. We have selected Javier Sloans as he is the Chief of Human Resources Officer at Amazon. This picture of him and information on his role in the company and skills that he holds were all found on his LinkedIn profile. He is the most appropriate for this position, we believe, because of his expertise in employee-related crisis. This is critical when handling this sensitive subject in the workplace. He is also trained in legal protections, which make sure all statements follow laws regarding the case. He has years of experience in employee relation, which fully allows him to address issues with clarity and accuracy. He is a trusted internal leader at Amazon who leads with empathy. This ensures he can reassure employees, keep trust, and represent our organization in a respectful and professional fashion. For this slide, I will be going over our media policy. This means how communication will be managed throughout our crisis in the company. Through the article Human Resources for the Emerging Firm, which is published by the Salem Press Encyclopedia, I have learned key elements of an HR representative and the aspects of a media policy and how they relate back to this. Based on my readings, I have summarized key points that Amazon will be using in our plan. First, only our spokesperson, Javier, will be speaking publicly on behalf of the company. This ensures there are no mixed signals and all information that is published is completely accurate. Second, all media should be directed towards him. This means that employees should not try and answer questions or comment, even in an informal setting. Third, employees should not comment or post on social media on account of the issue at hand. This overall prevents misinformation or unprofessionalism. Last, the public statements written by Javier Sloans must be reviewed by the legal department and crisis management team. This ensures the public is appropriate, accurate, and aligns with Amazon's response strategy.
So the crisis statement was used as the scenario that we chose, and the company that we decided to go with is Amazon. So at Amazon, we believe that all employees should treat each other with respect. We stand with any individual who has the courage to speak out when those values are not honored. Our goal is to create a safe and inclusive workplace for all. We are actively reviewing this claim to determine the appropriate next steps and are offering our full support to the person who came forward. With that being said, the internal and external message and statement, I used the scenario from the crisis statement, and I did the internal message, which will be for the employees. So at Amazon, respect and inclusivity are non-negotiable values. We want every employee to feel safe and supported at work. Any allegations, sexual harassment that have been raised are taken seriously. We are reviewing claims thoroughly and will take appropriate action. Resources are always available to anyone who needs the support, and we encourage employees to speak up if they ever feel unsafe. Together, we must uphold a culture of dignity and respect that defines our workplace. That being said, the external statement is for the public. So Amazon is committed to maintaining a safe, respectful, and inclusive workplace. We support those who have come forward and are actively reviewing the claims to determine next steps. We will continue to uphold our values of respect, accountability across the company. Thank you.
In this slide, I will be covering the legal consideration. At Amazon, we encourage employees to make a report by notifying Human Resource Management, contacting any member of management, and calling the anonymous production hotline. The report will be investigated with high expectations of honesty and cooperation for the employee that makes the complaint. If the law or a labor agreement doesn't require specific steps, Amazon will decide what kind of discipline is appropriate. This could range from coaching or, in serious cases, ending employment and services.
To close out our presentation, our plan lays out a clear and structured response for Amazon to handle this sexual harassment claim the right way. We identified the crisis team, the spokesperson, the media policy so communication stays controlled, accurate, and legally compliant. The internal and external messages we created support the individual who came forward, reinforce Amazon's commitment to safety and respect, and help reduce the risk of misinformation. Most importantly, this plan protects confidentiality while still being transparent about the company's values and next steps. If Amazon follows this process consistently and backs it up with real action, it strengthens trust across the organization and helps prevent future issues. Overall, our goal is to make sure that the response is respectful, supportive, and aligned with Amazon's responsibility to provide a safe environment for every employee.
Thank you for watching, and here is where we got all our information from.